It's exciting. I think even with the result tonight, you can tell with the excitement of the fans and just the atmosphere. Um, but it's hard to talk about the form we're in. I think it's disappointing, but we got a couple days here, and I think there's things to take away from tonight that are positive. And I think overall we're pleased with the run that we had over the course of the season, but there's obviously always room to improve. So.
Can you talk about some of the changes you guys need to do in the playoffs now?
I think it's just a lot of small details. You look at the goals we've given up, and it's mostly self-inflicted. I want to say there's not often times where teams break us down in 20, 25 passes and make us look bad. I think it's turnovers, it's miscommunications at the back, it's little things. I think if we can eliminate a lot of that and some of the self-inflicted chances that we've given up, I think we'll fare well.
Keegan, for you individually, getting to the end of the season, having played every minute, what does that mean for you?
Just lucky to stay healthy. I mean, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to play from day one, and I've said it before. I do my best to take advantage of the opportunity, but there's so many things that you can't control with injuries and suspensions and cards that may not be the right calls and that kind of stuff. So there's things that you can't control that you have to be thankful for, and but at the same time, it gives me confidence that the coaches want to put me on the field every game. So it's twofold. I'm thankful for all the opportunities I've had, but I'm appreciative of it.
Keegan, it seemed like versus last week there was a lot more energy today. Can you talk about that, and did it feel that way for you?
I think so. I think Orlando was probably one of the only home games of the year where it felt a little bit flat, and it was hard to identify what the source of that was. But I think fan appreciation night, last regular season game, going into the playoffs, the next game we're playing, and I think a lot of those things are going to give us energy and things for us to feed off of. But I think that Orlando game's a little bit of an outlier for us.
Can I ask you one other thing? Can you talk about Toronto? I mean, you're certainly familiar with them. Just your thoughts on them.
I think it's encouraging that we played so well there last time. I think you look at the run of the game last time in Toronto and at their stadium, and I think we feel good about the way we played and the chances we created and the amount of chances we gave up and the quality of those chances on both sides. So I think we have confidence going into there. I think, again, you talk a lot about the form that we're in, but the season is it's a season of runs, and it's so long and it ebbs and flows in the form that you're in. So Wednesday or Thursday is the perfect time to right the ship.
Anything else for Keith? Anything you want to say to the fans?
I've been extremely appreciative and thankful for just the support, consistently every single home game. I think, I think back to some of the midweek games we've had, Open Cup games, and I think to the LA Galaxy game. It was Wednesday night, and you think, middle of the week, people have work the next day and stuff like that, and there's still, I think we were close to sold out. So, even Sunday games, just like today, and even though it was fan appreciation night and it was the last game, these fans are unlike any other, and I think the players can certainly feel that. Whether or not they know that, I'm not sure, but we appreciate them every single game.
Team that did what we did, and that's the reason we're still able to make the playoffs, and it's just unfortunate that we're hitting a tough spot right now. But as long as all the guys continue to believe that we can play, and at a given day when we all go out and do the work, we can play against any team, I think we can still go into the playoffs and make a run.
So what do you guys have to do differently?
I think right now we just got to go back to the basics, starting to play fearless team and to do whatever it takes and whatever the game takes to get a result.
How much can you take from that last game in Toronto?
Well, if I'd be positive, I'd just say it's a place where we can go and we can match up against them, and we know the way they play. Game.
How would you say playoffs?
Well, yeah, we're going through a bad patch right now. Definitely, it's obvious to everyone, and I still think, and I hope the guys think the same, that we can turn this thing around and do well in the playoffs.
You were there the last time this team did it. Can you compare the feeling of going into the playoffs now to that?
It's just it's good to be back in the playoffs, and we have a chance in this second season to come together and do something that maybe nobody is giving us much of a chance to, but you know, we're going to go up there and do the best we can and enjoy the opportunity, and you know, hopefully we're able to accomplish something that nobody's expecting right now.
Do you think things change though in the playoffs, Brian, or is it just an intensity and everything that's higher?
Everything's more intense, everything's more heightened. So, you know, just go out there and play without any fear. Play as best we can. You know, connect passes, create chances, make defensive plays, play solid, control your emotions, but you know, use the playoff adrenaline in as positive a way as you can, and back each other up, and you know, put everything we have, lay it all out there. It's one game, and you never know what can happen. So hopefully we can go out there and play together and play as a good group and get something done.
Does the meaning of a playoff berth change at all for you when you've had such a long time between the last one? I mean, they came automatically for you that first 8 years of the career. Does the meaning of it change a little bit?
You know, had a great run to start the career, qualifying for the playoffs, and carry that through up into here, and it hasn't been as easy of late, and it's a good feeling having accomplished that goal and getting back into the playoffs, and now that's in the past, and it's already about what can we do and how well can we play and try and get a win, try and keep going.
I know you're not a guy who looks at it from an individual standpoint very often, but do you ever get the thought of, you know, if it's going to come again, if that playoff atmosphere is going to come again after 2, 3, 4 seasons where you guys miss out on it? I mean, is that something?
Yeah, I mean, it's never a given, and it's a lot more difficult to accomplish this feat with more teams and, you know, better competition. But I think it's a real positive step for our club and a good building block to, you know, do what we've done in accomplishing the playoffs this year, and now it's about taking the opportunity the best we can.
Yeah, I mean, a ball was crossed, and you know, and I was trying to take a shot on goal, and my foot kind of got stuck in the turf, and my ankle like rolled and twisted and kind of snapped a little bit, and I heard a crack, and then yeah, just a lot of pain from there. I got a scan afterwards, and it showed that yeah, there was a break. So it sucks, you know. Obviously, a little bit frustrating, a lot frustrating to be honest. But you know, all I can do now is just get back to work. You know, focus on the positives, and you know, make sure that my situation isn't a distraction from the team. You know, we still have a lot to do this season. We just qualified now for the playoffs, so we have a big game coming up in Toronto. So I don't want my situation to be a distraction for these guys. I want them to be focused on the game and trying to accomplish something even greater than what they've already accomplished now.
How similar is it to the previous injury? Is it in the same kind of area? How is it severity-wise relative to the first one?
It's different. It's a same leg, but you know, different part.
What's the timetable?
I don't know. You know, we'll find out more as I'm sure this coming week. But as of now, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Mo, I know you walking out with the team. That's not something injured players usually do. How important was it for you to be out there with the guys on a day like today?
Yeah, it was very important, you know. Initially, I wasn't planning on doing it, and then, you know, credit to the guys. They really pushed for me to come out there and be a part of that. So, yeah, I mean, I was proud to be out there with the guys, and obviously it would have been great to end the season on a winning note, but all things considered, we're still in a great position. We're in the playoffs, like I said, which was it's a big accomplishment, and there's still a lot to play for.
How deflating is this that you won't be able to play in the playoffs?
I'm sorry?
How deflating is this that you won't be able to play in the playoffs?
Yeah, it sucks, of course. But the whole season's kind of progressed that way. You know, I would have loved to play in every game this season, so can't dwell on it anymore. What's done is done. All I can do now, like I said, is stay positive for the group. Make sure that they're not, you know, going into the next game thinking about me whatsoever. I want them to be focused on the game and focused on winning.
Mo, why do you think you weren't in the lineup sooner? I mean, you played those rehab games at Bethlehem Steel, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, it seemed like you were fine. I mean, did the coaching staff say anything to you specifically? I mean, did it reach a certain point in the season where they just had their guys and they were going to ride with that instead of trying to get you back onto the field, or does any of that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think it was a case of being patient. You know, I'd been out for like a long time, and even though I did play in those games, you know, I was still had a little bit of ways to go. So the idea there was to make sure that I was feeling as close to as 100% as possible before they did throw me into the lineup. Today would have been that day, but unfortunately it didn't. It wasn't meant to be. So yeah, no, the staff has been real supportive of me in my situation. It's been frustrating for myself, for them, I'm sure for all the fans as well. So, but again, I've gotten nothing but support from them and the group that we have here. So again, now I'm just back to working on getting fit for next season.
Is it different? You know, say you had gotten a half hour at the end of the Orlando game or something. Is it different at all for you emotionally, knowing that you didn't get a chance to get on the field at all this year? I know it's kind of a freak injury and it can happen at any time, but not being able to play at all, does that change it at all, as opposed to if you got a game or something?
It doesn't change it for me, you know. And again, these are things that we're talking about what ifs now, you know. So I prefer not to do that. What's happened the way it did. I have no control over that, you know. And only thing I do have control over now is my next steps from here. You know, how I prepare myself mentally, emotionally, and how I continue to support this group and make sure that once again they're focused on what's in front of us, which is our next game in Toronto.